I love the spring, don't you? Sunny days, daffodils, cute little chicks, and glow-in-the-dark skulls? I think so. Hi everybody, I'm doing it again, another YouTube video, must be mad, but I really wanted to share with you my glow-in-the-dark yarn and what I've been making with it. So, well yes, it's skulls. I know they're not very spring-like, are they? I was going to make stars, and in fact I did make a few stars, and then my children suggested that actually maybe skulls would be a far preferable thing to make, especially as this yarn is glow-in-the-dark. So let me tell you about it. It's from Unique Yarns Company, and they make all sorts of amazing yarn actually, and I picked this up at Unravel earlier this year, and I picked up this amazing green. I've shown you it before if you've seen the videos, and you can see already that that's kind of glowing. And I also picked up this really lovely pink too. Really interesting yarn. The green one is 100% cotton, I think, and I think the pink isn't. It's cotton with something else in it, the metallic thread. I'll have to read up on that, but yeah, all the details are on their website. Notes will be on my blog, and I'll put all the links to them as well. So I did start making stars. If I was really organised, I'd have them to show you. So I've just had a quick look and I can't find my stars that I made anywhere. They'll be around, and as soon as I finish recording, I'll find them. There are lots of free patterns on the internet, and I think there's a pattern for stars in Simply Crochet, a recent one. Anyway, I'll have a look and I'll put some links, because stars would be really nice and far more spring-like than skulls. But skulls was what, as I say, my children decided upon. So I made some. I made quite a lot. They are really simple, and in fact I've made another video, so you'll be able to make one too, and I've made a step-by-step video which will be after this video if the magic of putting things on YouTube works. It should be the video that follows this. So they're really easy. They use a tiny amount of yarn. As I say, I've used the glow-in-the-dark yarn because it just is amazing, and they're made in rows, and they are super simple. They use double crochet stitches, trebles for these slightly longer teeth stitches, and then to make the nose and the eyes, it's just a chain of stitches that are then worked back round with another row of stitches in between. So they're not absolutely perfect, but I'm quite pleased. They worked rather well. So what was I going to do with them? Lots of people on Instagram had said about, oh, you're making bunting. Bunting would be really cool actually. You could hang them from a light or make a mobile. If you're going to do that, I suggest you block them. Now, I'm a bit of a rubbish crocheter when it comes to blocking, and I generally don't unless I really have to. If it's for a magazine or something like that, I usually will. These, oh, mind the wire. These would be really good if you block them with something like a spray starch or even PVA glue, just to give them a bit more rigidity. That would work really well. I didn't bother, as I say, because what I decided to do with mine was update my children's lights, which have quite frankly seen better days. The lampshades have gone a bit, well, I think they've been drawn on. This one has most definitely got a big pencil line down it, and yes, I could throw them away or I could cover them, but I thought, well, actually I think they'd perhaps be made a little bit more special with some glow-in-the-dark stars. So my son wanted green, so he's got some green ones, and my daughter, actually she wanted green as well, but I made her have pink because I'm a nice mum like that. She'll get some green ones too. We're going to decorate the top. I've suggested stars, but I think she still wants skulls. Actually, little hearts would be quite sweet as well, wouldn't they, in this pink particularly. So again, you can probably see where we've got felt tip on this one, but definitely improved, I think, with some little skulls. I'll add in some photographs. I try to photograph them to show you how they glow. The pink wasn't very successful in photographs, and in fact I couldn't get them to show up at all on the lights, but I did manage to get a picture of them glowing, so hopefully you'll be able to see that. The green definitely glows better, but I think they're both really nice actually, and the pink definitely does work. So what happens with these lights, is that you obviously the yarn charges under a normal light. So obviously being on a light, they charge. Then as soon as you turn it off, it glows a bit like, did you ever have those stars that you stick on the ceiling? It works in exactly the same way as that. So they're really effective. I'm really, really pleased with them, and my children are too. Winner. I then thought, I wonder if this pattern works with other yarn. Now, if you watched last week's video, you'll remember all this really lovely mega yarn from Woolly Mahusive. And this yarn in particular, I had a pink one. I made a little ruglet, a baby rug. I've still got the cream one to use. And I made the skele, or the skull, with the orange squiggly yarn. It probably looks a bit weird though because it's been pulled out. What I did was I followed exactly the same pattern. So that'll be on my blog, and there's the other video as well. And I used a 25mm hook, and I used one skein of the squiggly yarn. I'll put in the notes how much it was. I'll weigh it and work that out for you. Then I went all the way around the edge in double crochet stitches because I just thought it would finish it off a bit better. So my son's very keen on this one. He wants this for his bedroom. I suppose it'll be like a little rug. It could go on the floor, but I think he thought it was very soft, and we'll probably just take it to bed with him because he's like that. So you could make a whole load of these and join them together again. They'd make really cute little rugs. But so there you are. The pattern works for the glow in the dark yarn and for the really big yarn too. So that's really super. With this yarn, I used a 3.5mm hook, and it worked out really, really well. So I was also really lucky to be given from Unique Yarns. They asked me if I'd like to try any of their other yarn. So how could I turn that down? So I just asked for a selection of their mini skeins. I've got a little bag here, so I shall rustle as I show you. Because what we really liked about these yarns, when we went to Unravel, I went with a few friends, the stand was really quite small, and they just had a really select few yarns, but they were lovely, really, really beautiful. And these are all naturally dyed with natural pigments. So they're 100% merino, I think. Yes, they are indeed. And they come in these shades, and I'll try and do a little close up. Excuse my rustling. Let me show you. And they are dyed with natural pigments. So the top one is dyed with green malachite pigment. The grey there with, can't read it because I've turned it round, powdered graphite. And they're really lovely. I really like the way, I'll use the word really a lot, shall I? I really, really like the way that the colours are muted. They look really natural, don't they? I just think they're absolutely beautiful. Really, really super. So these, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I've got 10, and they are 10 grams each. So I'm looking forward to making a little project that uses all these colours. They just work so beautifully together. What shall I make though? Not another shawl. Maybe some little mittens or something like that with those. Something for the spring. But they're such beautiful colours, so I'm really looking forward to trying those, and I shall obviously share with you how I get on and what I make as well. So what else have I been up to this week? Well, not much really. Well, I have, but I can't show you everything, obviously, because I work on commissions and they have to be top secret. So here's one that I'm working on. Here's a quick kind of flash. It's going to be a little amigurumi toy, so I'm looking forward to carrying on working with him. That's got to be done pretty soon, so I need to get a wiggle on with that. And I've just had an email from somebody saying, how's the project you're doing for us coming on? Haven't started it, so really ought to do that too. I'll also show you my shawl. Now, I don't know if you've been following me on Instagram, you might know that I was working on, it was the shawl that was on Inside Crochet. And I used to take that to gymnastics with me every week when I watched even my daughter. And it became known as the gymnastics shawl, because I don't know about you, I like to have a project on the go that I don't have to think about. I don't have to count stitches, I don't have to memorise a tricky pattern. I can just get into the rhythm of it really quickly. And also, more importantly, it takes just one ball. I don't want to have to faff around with scissors and all that sort of thing. So gymnastics is great fun. You sit there on these little benches that are really not comfortable and can be quite squeezed in. So it's not the sort of occasion where I want to take massive knitting needles and a great big hook and do some big yarn stuff. I need something quite petite that I can just sit with on my lap. So this is my latest shawl that I am working on, and it's coming along quite well, I think. It's very typical of me. It's a really simple pattern because I only do simple, and also because I'm not really a lacy pattern person. I've sort of worked out recently. I just tend to get these things caught, and I don't know. Simple is best for me. So here I am with my shawl. I don't know how much of that you can see. And this was the one I'm going to make a big triangle and then reduce it back up the other way, so it will be a sort of a long triangle shawl. That's my plan, and it's just a really simple pattern at the moment. It seems to be working really well in this lovely yarn. I'll put the notes in the show notes, obviously, what yarn it is. I'm getting tangled. But what's great, one ball of yarn. And don't you just love these bags? So these are the bags that come from the online yarn shops when you buy your yarn. And they are just perfect for a project because I can just have that in my bag, and the yarn is safe from all those things you have in your bag. Keys, bits of Lego, sticky sweets. So the yarn can roll quite happily in that bag, inside my bag at my feet, and I can crochet at gymnastics. I think they all think I'm a bit weird, but I don't care. Another project is my knitting, because I am now a knitter, I've decided. Well, let's just see how that goes. So in my project bag, I have got now, I'm very pleased, a completed back, which I think I showed you last time. And I have completed a front right or front left. I'll work it out when I have a look at it. And I've cast that off. And I have also cast on the other front side. I know all the technical terms. I'm really enjoying it, actually. Again, that's a nice project to sit in the evenings. I don't particularly have to think too hard. As long as I don't drop any stitches, it doesn't drive me too mad. So that's another really enjoyable thing to do in the evenings. The other project I have on my hook at the moment, because I always like to have a few, is sitting very secretly in my little yarn bowl, cracked because it fell on the floor, mended with super glue. And it was using these little tiny mini balls of yarn and colours. I haven't really got much further with that. I can't show you anything at the moment either, but it's absolutely delicious yarn. I'm really enjoying working on that project. So that's one that needs a bit more thinking about. I can hear a child screaming. It's not my child, let's not worry. Well, that's about it from me today. It's a bit of a short episode. I've still got Stylecraft yarn to show you. I can't show you all of it, I can show you some of it. So I hope to show you some in the next episode. I've already recorded a how to make a skull tutorial, so that's step-by-step crochet along with me type YouTube video. And as I say, if I've done it right, that should be the video that follows this one next. If I've done it wrong, you'll have to just find it elsewhere. So enjoy the spring. Make a skull, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Well, that's about it from me today. I can see a dog in my front garden. It is not my dog.
Lola, come on.